Hey guys, I'm Reirachuu and I'm here with Beyond Gaming's jungler Husha for our post-match winner interview. Hello， 大家好，我是英文台的主播 Reirachuu。这次的赛后采访呢，很高兴欢迎 Beyond Gaming 的打野 Husha。Husha 你好。
大家好，我是 Beyond Gaming 的打野 Husha。
So, firstly, of course, we all saw the end of that game number 5, also the end of this entire series. I've got to ask you guys how the team was feeling at that moment in those last 30 seconds of that game when you saw your base just nearly get toppled. Just tell us what you guys thought and also what the communication was like during that time. 首先当然就要恭喜你们获得今天这场3比2的胜利。第一个问题当然就要问的就是第5把最后你们的团队的情绪可以跟我们说一下吗？还有你们当时那些沟通是什么样子的呢？打完巴龙之后。
因为当时 TP 是挺突然的，我们做巴龙前是没有想到他们会这样玩的。然后当时发生的时候就赶快把他们在巴龙区的人杀掉，然后回补。其实当下我觉得要输了，就运气很好，小亮玩得很好，1守2成功，这样也算是运气好吧。
So he said that actually the way that game ended, he personally thought that they were actually going to lose at that point in time. He personally feels that he thinks they're actually very lucky that they managed to win in the very last instance of the game. He said that what happened was during the Baron fight after that, he thought that the teleport was very sudden, and he thinks that none of them were expecting the teleport call towards the bottom side. So when they saw that happen, they just tried to respond as quickly as they could. They just tried to kill off the 1 or 2 members that were still Aing their base. And yeah, he feels that the fact that they were able to win after that and that their base didn't die is luck. Great. So I wanted to ask you guys next because it was a pretty long series for today, and you guys were leading game 1, game 2. You guys were 2-0 before you let Machi nearly have the comeback victory in the best of 5 series. So I wanted to just ask you guys how what kind of adjustments you were able to make going into that game number 3, because game 1 and 2 you guys fell behind early, but were still able to take the lead, and then you guys lost that game 3, game 4. So just tell us what the team was feeling just throughout the series. 接下来的问题想问的就是关于今天比赛的比数结果有什么感受呢？毕竟你们是赢了第1把、第2把，然后差点就让马吉掉2接3赢回来，能够说一下让2追3，能够说一下你们的感受吗？
其实今天没想到会打那么辛苦的，我今天状态很差，每场都玩得不太好。我觉得每把赢的都算运气好，就今天还是蛮幸运的。
你是说个人状态吗？还是就团体的状态？
个人比较多吧，今天发挥得很不好。
So he said that for today, he feels that personally he didn't actually do very well, especially in the earlier parts of the game. He said that it's not so much a team problem, but a bit more of a for him personally, it's not the entire team that's doing bad. He said that for him, just his mindset, his mentality just wasn't as strong going into to today. So that was kind of the reason for his poor performance. Next, I wanted to ask you about game number 2, especially because you guys fell behind in the early to mid game. You were down about more than 8,000 in terms of gold, and then you lost 1 Nexus tower, but you managed to make that crucial Baron steal towards the later part of the game, even got MVP for that play as well. So I wanted to ask you guys what the team comms were like during the Baron steal and just what your personal decision making was at that point in time. 接下来问题想问的就是关于第2把的翻盘，就那时候你们经济好像是落后8000多，然后水晶塔也已经被拆了，可是胡山你的 投巴龙投得非常漂亮，之后也拿到了那场的 MVP， 就可以说一下团队那时候的沟通是什么样子的吗？还有你自己个人的思考。
因为当时巴龙是我们有预想到的，然后我们就是慢慢探视野，看对面有没有要抢开我们的意思。如果没有的话，巴龙我如果是玩熊怪，我一定是进得了巴龙洞的。所以巴龙拼中这东西本来就是看运气嘛，当时就是运气比较好投到了。
So once again, Husha was saying that stealing Baron in general is kind of a lucky thing, whether or not like you're able to eventually pick up the Baron. He was saying that also because for that game he was playing Volibear, so he said that he always felt that like he was going to be able to get into the Baron pit at that point in time. It was just kind of like luck in the end, whether he eventually gets it or not. Wow. All right. My next question that I wanted to ask you guys was just because you all have been playing so many games this week in the last week of the playoffs. I wanted to ask you guys how you prepared for this week in particular. Did you guys prepare more for your match versus PSG yesterday, or did you guys prepare more for your games against Machi today? And also, just what's the difference in preparing for both these teams, like when you guys practice in Scrim？ 接下来问题想问的就是关于这周的准备，就想问，就这一周你们是不是比较偏 PSG 还是 Magi？ 就关于准备方面来说，还有就对上 PSG 还有对上 Magi， 你们在准备方面有什么不同吗？就练习上还是什么？
我们不管准备 Magi 还是 PSG， 都是讨论非常久的。我们不会因为对面比较难赢就草草了事。然后 Magi 的就是 Magi BP 就是针对打野会比较好做。PSG 的话就是他的每路都很厉害，感觉怎么 ban 都 ban 不完，所以就 ban 什么都差不多吧。
So he said that as a team, they don't really practice in terms of specifically whether or not they're going to go versus PSG or Machi, or whether or not like their opponent is a stronger team. He said that in general for the picks and bans when they play versus Machi, is kind of have a stronger focus towards their jungle versus Gemini, and then when they play versus PSG, because PSG just seems to be so strong in every single lane, you kind of can't completely ban out PSG just because they're so strong and they just have that many champion picks. Great. So I wanted to ask you next, because you guys just played PSG yesterday, and also it's going to be your 4th time during PCS Spring going up against this team. I wanted to ask if you guys have any type of new strategies for tomorrow's finals. Are you guys gonna switch things up? If you can share with us. 接下来问题想问的就是关于明天的决赛，毕竟明天会是你们跟 PSG 对打已经第4次了，然后毕竟昨天也是输给了 PSG， 所以关于明天的话，你们的打算会是如何呢？有什么新招还是一样稳打？
因为昨天才打嘛，新招的话可能是暂时准备不了。昨天被3-0打得很惨嘛，所以明天如果可以赢一场的话，我就很高兴。
So he said that in terms of new strategies, they just played PSG yesterday. It's going to be kind of difficult to come up with anything new just overnight. And he said that because yesterday their loss versus them, since it was a 3-0, they did lose pretty badly versus them yesterday. So he said that actually for tomorrow, just if their team can kind of take one game and go like 3-1 versus them, he would be pretty happy with that. I was Gonna be the last question I wanted to ask you tomorrow, which is just what are the team's thoughts going in tomorrow? What are your goals? What's the confidence like on the team, and also just personal and team goals for tomorrow, perhaps? 那最后一个问题想问的，就关于明天的决赛。当然，之前也刚说了，就如果明天能赢一场，就会很高兴。但就团队整体来说，你们的目标会是什么呢？
我们的目标就是我们夏季赛的时候，希望可以打进世界赛，并拿到一些好的成绩吧。
Great. So Husha said that in terms of the team goals, they're kind of looking more forward past spring. They're looking towards the summer split, and he said that they want to be able to get better results in the summer split and make it to Worlds and just be a better team. So forward thinking, I like that. Of course, thank you so much, Husha, for doing today's interview, and of course, good luck for tomorrow's finals. 那感谢胡莎接受这次的采访，当然祝你们明天的决赛加油！Thank you for the interview。
谢谢。
主播回你们喽。